touch him. No!
Last Pokemon left, and our full team still with us. The nerves were high, but seeing that it was a Torkoal gave us some relief.
Torkoal. I changed to the wrong guy. Hydro Pump the hell out of him. Let's go!
Just like that, we defeated the champion of the Hoenn region in our first ever Pokemon Nuzlocke.
I unmuted myself. Jesus Christ. Look at my face. Oh, there we go. Okay. What's up, guys? What's up? I guess I'll just put this on. What's up, Ethan? What's up, Dinell? What's up, Cashew? What's up, Nathan? I do smell like a Baka Eren Yeager. I did do it. I want to try to do weekly reacting to video or just like watching videos together. Media share type stuff. It's not too late to add video. It's not going to be media share per se. You guys will just like... we're going to watch the clips or the videos you guys sent. And yeah. If we run out of stuff and we want to watch more stuff, then I'll take links and we'll watch stuff. So, I have here basically some videos. Well, Cashew, you told me to check this out. So, we'll check out a little bit. I'm not going to watch the whole hour on stream. We'll check this out. The cat memes from Nathan. I forgot who sent the Japanese prison break. I think Chi sent this. And just stuff that I saw that I thought might be interesting. There's only one thing we're not going to watch that was sent, which was Nathan's whale dying. He sent a video of a whale dying. I don't think I could show that on Twitch, but I watched it and it looked like a whale dying. But anyway, hey, that's my name. Whoa, I just found out. I found a short spooky series. Okay, watch the whole podcast. Okay, fine. All right, I'll watch the whole podcast. We're gonna watch it together, guys. We're gonna watch it together. Alright. Cat memes. What is this? What is this? Cats are so stupid. Bruh. A whole podcast? Yeah, we're not gonna watch the whole podcast. Hey, what's up, Jessica? Jessica. What the hell? Oh, what? Ew. Would you eat a cat? So damn. How you doing, Yesik? Am I the only one that's like, these aren't really funny? That was cute. I don't like cats. You're scared of cats? Oh. I'm allergic to cats. I've had big allergic reactions to cats. I'm not scared of them though. I'm scared of cockroaches. Cats, they are cats. I'm doing well. Nice to hear you're doing fine. It doesn't matter, the cats are cute. True. You want a cat? If you get a cat, you should throw it out the window. Oh, that was funny. Sheesh. Oh, Minecraft music. Minecraft is so depressing. I mean, what? With my grandparents being Asian, they've eaten things like cats, dogs, guinea pigs, rats, and rabbits. Are Tic Tacs a lot? Tic Tacs. I guess. Ooh. That's kind of hot. TikToks? Yeah, I guess TikToks are allowed. But we're going to go through all the videos first, you know? Before you guys send videos. Have you seen the video of the cat walking? No. I don't know. Send that video. Since it relates to what we're watching, too. Bro, these are not funny. Ever heard a cat try to burp? It's kind of crazy if you think about how many... Oh, snap. Oh, wait. Let's read the Russian. Покормила кота. I don't know. It says something cat. Покормила? Покормила? I don't know what that means. Damn it. What was that cat doing? What? Which cat? The cat here? It was like hiding. It was like hiding a squirrel as its baby or something. I don't know. Покормила кота. I don't know. It says cat gets bonk. Oh, that probably is what it says. You're such a genius. What's with the Minecraft music? Oh, snap! Yo, if I was that turtle, I'd have PTSD for life. Bro, her nails... Bro, why? Why do women do nails like that? It's so long. Look at that. Look at that nail. Imagine you're just like... I don't know, I just feel like it's not a good nail. I feel like you could just do stuff with it. I do that with my cousin. My cousin makes like when my cousin cries, she's like, I don't know, 1 year old or something. I go like she'll go and I'm like and then we just she stops and she looks at me like, what the hell is he doing? That's how you stop them. Misogynist. No, I don't go to the gym. I'm not a gymnast. I'm not a gymnast. I'm not a misogynist. Oh, snap. Hers an old clip. Now I'm gonna make fun of foreigners because that English is wrong. How does one live with long nails? I don't know. That's what I was trying to understand. Bro, when I got long toenails and they get, you know, it's not a good feeling. Oh, I have a harmonica. I don't know where I put it though, so I'm not gonna look for it. Plus, I'm annoying with it. Hey, what's up, Sai? We're watching. Excuse me. We're watching this. Boom. I'm gonna try to make it a weekly thing, just like you guys send in videos and we'll watch it. Nathan sent in this video, so we have a bunch of videos ready here. But yeah. On the weekend, I'm thinking of making it a Saturday thing. We just watch dumb videos. Oh. Damn, that was pretty crazy. Bet. Wait, what? Yes, sick naked? Nah, I don't want to see that. The knot. Yeah, that's a big foot. You know what that means? Big socks. I don't know what this bet command is. Oh my god. Bro. When someone says, "Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna lose my shit." You're not losing your shit. You're saying, "Oh my god." So that made no sense. I don't know why people do that. I don't get it. You've already seen me naked? Yeah, but didn't want to talk about it publicly. What the hell is that? Oh, those are... Oh, is he humping him? This is kind of funny, actually. No. Those eyes are kind of hot. Wait, what is this bet thing, though? I'm going to try to figure this out right now real quick. Betting. Ow. Yeah, why did the bet? Streamlabs betting. Do you know anything about this? Register your bet? Yeah, I don't know. Don't look at my OnlyFans! Jesus. Cashew would be like, what? You should change that I saw you on OnlyFans. No! That's kind of funny. No, because you will find nothing on OnlyFans, and don't look at it. Okay, Nathan? Hey! I hope it bites him. That's animal abuse. You were promised you got OnlyFans. Check out my OnlyFans. Check it out. Have you got hiccups? I'm from Britain. Britain. I could see the cat. Ooh, it's an alligator. Jesus. What would you do if you saw that under your bed? Bruh. What was that? I am obsessed. Thanks for the lurk. Link it, please. No, I'm not linking my OnlyFans. I'll link it after we get 1,000 subs on YouTube. And I'll put some content. Dinelle, welcome. You're new. Anyway. It's gonna fall. Wait, what's more important is what she watches on YouTube. What is this? Oh my god! No way! Isn't that the podcast you told me to? Oh no, never mind. That looks different. Okay, never mind. I think that says like Borderlands 3. Yeah, it says Borderlands 3. Never mind. God. Cats are so dumb. I put a link to a video in the vids to react to channel just now. Oh, so if it's normal video, we'll react to it next week. No way. For anyone who has a cat, have you heard the cat like... Jesus, those teeth are whiter than my teeth. Jesus. My dog's teeth look like he smoked for 20 years. That cat looks so stupid. Yes! I just said that! That was funny. Doesn't even look like a cat. Oh, 9/11. Oh, it's okay. Now it's 9/14. That was so funny. This is cringe. That I don't want to watch that. Oh my god. Bro, I'm sweating. What the hell? What is that? What are those? Wait. What the hell? That's funny, actually. No, stop. Stop it. Is this cat blind? Is this cat blind? I stretched it. I highly demand you read it with a British accent. I will not read it with a British accent. I mean, it pretty much just finished, so... They're not supposed to be funny videos. They're supposed to be what you guys send me. Is he doing a voice? He has no dislikes. Let me change that. Just kidding. I'm too nice. Oh. What is this? I already need to put pee-pee. You would have sent a meme? Oh. Well, we got for next week. Cashew! I'll check this out later. Sorry. Some people are born to create mischief. True. I drank the water. I drank it. Does anyone else watch videos in like 1.5 times speed? Or is it just me? This should be interesting. Sheesh. No, you maniac. Normal speed? You guys are such losers. No, I'm joking. But I don't know. I can't watch. My brother watches videos in 2 times speed. I think he's I think he has what's the word? What that starts with A? Not autism, the other one. You guys what? You okay, only me and Nathan are normal here. All right. We'll watch it in 1 times speed. Okay. Is this better? That's what it sounds like. No, you. Sheesh. Whoa. He's not in the woods. Yes. How you just pick through locks? Yo, they got a Starbucks here. Ooh. Ooh. But he's not there. Sorry, Ethan. It's regular speed. Shiratori was long gone. I knew it. He probably headed to the Starbucks. Exactly. Yes, the police found him. That's BS. No one calls him the Prison Break Magician. The Prison Break Magician. Oh, snap. They actually call him the Prison Break Magician. Oh, never mind. Yeah, this is Japan. Wait, what was he caught for? What? What? They better explain why he tried to steal stuff from the what? Damn, he has a white wife? Good for him. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but oh, snap. This was in the 40s? Damn. I don't know. Well, I mean, a lot of people when they go to jail, when they come out, like, it's hard for them to find jobs because they have a criminal record. But why try to steal from a hospital? That's weird to me. Unless he needed those... Like, how do you not explain that? I want to know. I'm gonna dislike this video. Explain. Oh. Explain yourself. Makes no sense. I'm not racist. I mean, I guess I am. Bro, come on. That's not a big deal. Look, he has a bed. What a lie. This video actually sucks. Did you guys hear that? Made to sleep on the hard concrete floor, right? They show a floor. And then literally 3 seconds later, they show a bed on the floor. He said he feels starstruck whenever he daze someone Asian because of Squid Game. Yes, when I daze someone Asian, I feel starstruck. That's true. Wait, you guys want to... Sorry. ADHD, that's what I was thinking of earlier. You want to see something funny? Damn it, I forgot the name of the video. I saw a video recently of some streamer who he's like, they were talking about like Chinese or something, and the guy's like, oh, just like Squid Game, and they're like, no, it's Korean. It was just really funny. Whatever. I'm Asian. I'm not racist. I was joking. Hey, Akko, what's up? A few hours. I'm not sure exactly. At least an hour and a half for sure from now. I don't dislike Asians. I literally lived in Japan. I hate Asians. I don't dislike them. Just kidding. Damn. They're looking at him like they want to have sexual relations with him. Yeah, I hate streaming. That's a nice guy. I like Kobayashi. The only Asian I'll ever like. I know, right, Cashew? Alright, I won't diss them. I'm sorry, Akko. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. See you later. Bro, this guy's a magician. Wait, what? You love Squid Game? I thought it was okay. You're trying to get rid of your deep-rooted hatred towards Asians by living amongst them. I tried, and it was really hard, and it just still stuck there. Juagueramos Muvete Luz Verde. I agree. Hey! You dedicated a pumpkin to Squid Game? What does that mean? Send pics in the Discord. I want to see. Send pics of what? It's kind of sus. Anyway. What the hell? Hello? I just heard oh, maybe it was my chair. I'm an idiot. Never mind. My butt. Your butt's nasty, bro. It got poo-poo all over it. Oh! Oh. I was gonna say, did he break his hands to get out of them? But he went with the lock-picking method. Hello! Why are you screaming? What the heck? Let's go, Kobayashi. It's a ninja. What the hell? What the hell? I love how it's like it turns out he was able to get out of handcuffs because he always gets out of handcuffs. It turns out he climbs. He's an expert climber. It turns out he's actually escaped from 37 prisons in his lifetime. It turns out. Like, what? It's so weird. Hi, Cashew. What the hell? That's insane, bro. Hey, I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to make myself learn something new every day, okay? Oh my god, let me show you guys. Okay. Where's my face? Alright, whatever. My face wasn't showing for some reason. I've been trying to learn something every day, right? So, I know no one cares, but I learned a magic trick, okay? Alright, so I learned last night. So let me show you guys, okay? You guys can mix, alright? Shuffle, chat. You guys shuffle. Pick a card. Alright, let's say you pick this card, okay? I'm not gonna look at it, okay? I'm not gonna look at it. I hope you guys saw it. I don't know if you guys saw it, okay? Alright? Now put the card in the middle, okay? Somewhere, okay? Let's say you put it here. Alright? Okay? Alright? Now I'm gonna make the card flip. Oh. I'm gonna make the card flip. Now boom! Watch this. Do you see your card? It's the only one that's face up. I'm a magician. I'm a magician. Boo, JK. I'm a magician. Come on, guys. Come on. Turns out that he was Asian because of his ancestral history. Okay. You don't have a beautiful butt, and maybe it was a ghost. That is true. Anyway, let's just continue. That wasn't the wrong card. Don't lie to me. That wasn't wrong. Oh, I got another trick. This trick I learned years ago, okay? I love this trick, okay? Okay. That one I just learned last night, but this one, you tell me when to stop. Boom. Oh. All right? And then you're like, this is your card. It's the Joker. I'm a genius. I'm a freaking genius. Anyway, no one wants to see my magic. Let's just watch the video. Weeyong card. Why are you speaking Chinese? This is America. Come on, Ethan. You need someone else there? Yeah. That's my goal. I want to stream with other people because I feel like Well, yeah, that would be cool. I didn't tell myself when to stop. It's just magic, bro. Wait, what? He escaped from jail and then went to Kobayashi, one of the guards that was like chill with him. Shit. When is the streamer house coming? I'm not joking. Once I get big enough on streaming / YouTube, I'm definitely gonna look for people to live with, because I think that would be cool. I need to make enough money first, though, you know. But yeah, it'll come eventually. I'll say in a year. Get a girlfriend? That's gonna take time out of my life and money. No, thank you. Maybe a boyfriend, though. Or boyfriend, yeah, exactly. Kobayashi looks so sweet. He looks like a potato. Yeah. To start making money, you need like 100 viewers, I think. 100, 200 viewers. I don't want to live with you, Yesik. I'm sorry. Stupid ad. Ads are so random. Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm very happy. Or I'm very proud. I'm very grateful. But I'm also very realistic, you know. I try to be, so. Yeah, maybe I'll live with you, Cashew. I won't forget you. I won't forget you, guys. Process. Process? Who says process? There are definitely... Jesus, I keep interrupting this video. There are definitely negatives about, excuse me, having more viewers. Like, it's harder to talk to chat and stuff. But to counteract that, I would hope that in the future I would have, like, streams like sub-only mode or like ways to make it more interactable. Interactive. Then all... would do the right thing. Listen. 80 more people with more money than you and you like them more? Yes. So you just gotta spend more money than them. Nah, come on. I like Diego. He's never given money. It's not about money. I mean, it's about money if I want to move out and live in a streaming house. But I would rather make money off of YouTube than Twitch, to be honest. But yeah. I know Ping will never forget me. Wait, who are you again? I'm just joking. Oh, snap! Yo! It's like an anime. What the hell? They added 3 more years to his life sentence. Wow. What? Wait, wrong button. Damn it. I screw everything up. Is what I meant to press. Hokkaido is the coldest place in Japan. I gave you everything, Ping, and you don't thank me. Sound like an Italian mobster. I'm sorry. He's gonna forget the Twitch viewers. Yeah. Unless you guys come to YouTube. No, I'm not gonna forget you guys. Jesus. Aw. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. I'll definitely not forget Cashew. I wish you Godspeed and much success. Okay. I remember that time I tried donating 2 cents. Oh, it works now, yeah. Oh, Tinao. I'll definitely not forget you. Welcome back, Nathan. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you, guys. He 3-upped you, actually. But yeah. Jesus. Jesus. Oh, I thought he tried to commit suicide. Come on. He's the main character of the anime. Is he Superman? He just broke chains by... It's probably because it was very icy and stuff, right? Or 3-Up, yeah. Bro, what is this BS anime shonen thing? It turned out he had enough... What other special ability he had? He had freaking webs on his hands? This sounds so weird. But okay, like, let's be honest. If you're out in the cold and you have handcuffs on, it's probably easier to break because the ice on the chain, right? Like science, I went to school, I think that makes sense. So, like, they're making it seem like, oh my god, he had superhuman strength. Like, I could do that. This guy isn't real. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the storytelling is funny. It's like, doesn't make sense. Like, who says this? They had lock, what was it? Lock-picking abilities, lizard-like climbing abilities, superhuman strength like, what? It's so stupid. Look it up. Alright, I'm sorry, Yasek. I'm sorry. They're geniuses. No one says 20 kgs, right? I'm American. No one says 20 kgs, right? They say 20 kilograms. Like, I don't say, I weigh 170 lbs. Bro, this video is so bad. Oh, the handcuffs before were what? Were they? I didn't pay attention. Yeah, kilograms. No one says kgs, though, right? Oh, God. You know, this video of Winter is like taken from some random place in the world. Not even Japan. Probably like from last year. True. Maybe he didn't know. So he died. He died. But wait, the video is not even half over. So he's not dead, right? Yo, this reminds me of the scene. Yo, spoiler alert for Avatar: The Last Airbender if you've never watched it. So don't watch this part. That reminds me of this. That. Yo. You're just a fat, disgusting old man. Do nothing, you say nothing, eat and roll around in your own filth. And then... Bro, that's like me, bro. That's like me. Everyone thinks I don't work out. Everyone thinks I'm weak. They don't know what I'm packing. Anyway, I digress. I think some ghostwriters makes the script. Ooh, that could be true, yeah. It's still pretty impressive. Like, it is a lot of work, so... Spring comes real quick. I'm getting chills. This is the best anime I've ever watched. What the hell? Yo, no way. Bro, look, even Japanese people are so neat that even in prison, when they escape, they fold all their bed. Why'd my IQ go down? Work out? I already do. Wait. Ooh, there's no Starbucks here. I think he might have escaped. Yeah. Thank you, Yasik. Jessic. Arigatou gozaimasu. With time and patience. True. Doesn't that look like 2 eyes and a nose? Or like a mouth? Bro. Oh, oops. What the hell? This guy's another level. He had, yeah, he had this. Oh. Ooh, it's pretty hot. He had the special ability to do that. My IQ is on the bottom left of the screen as well, but yeah. Yeah, special ability to pour miso soup. Fourth ability! Oh my god, this reminds me of One Piece now. Second gear, third gear, his fourth ability. Let's see what it was. His intellect. His flexibility. We should hold a vote. His intellect. His flexibility. Why are you decreasing my IQ? He's hot considering I'm gay. He's hot considering I'm straight, I think. I'm straight. Is that an ability? Thank you, Cashew. He'll be able to dislocate, but yeah, that's literally what it was. He'd be on other levels than others, true. Wait. What? What'd they say? He was a guy. This is first of all, why is there a huge ass broken window in the roof? Oh my god. Like this is like if anime were trying to convince like little kids that superpowers are real and they just grow up being like well, it is real. This guy did it. Excuse me. I don't know. I am paying attention. Hey, what's up, Angel? Yeah, it's mad cold there. You did call it. Damn, all she's doing is running on the beach, bro. All these years he's escaping prison, she's just running on the beach. Is she really worried? Oh. Damn. That's messed up. Nah, Japan should win the... Oh, no, this was World War II. Yeah, Japan should. Hey, what's up, Cortez? How's life? Don't feel bad? I don't feel bad. Alright, we'll keep... Well, they didn't explain why the window is broken so far, but... Hey, carved a pumpkin. Can we see a picture of the pumpkin? Ethan was talking about carving pumpkins. You always cheese. Oh. Wait, why did I say oh like I was surprised? Yeah, World War II, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Suzuki. I love that clip. Awesome, Cortez. What the heck? And his fifth ability was that he could climb down the ladder to go into the mine. Oh, that's cool. No, Sprit Canberry. I don't know, the Spirit Canberry? Oh, cool. Thanks for the anyway. If the timing out, Ping will ban me. No, I mean, if he's okay with you timing him out, you could time him out. Yeah, it's fine. How do we request? Hey, welcome back. Just post in chat. What's the video length limit? Yeah, I didn't think this through. I basically did this, Aqua. I told people to send it on what? Why is the command not working? Was it vids? Oh, I think it was vids. I told people to just send it to on the Discord channel, and so I'm just watching what people sent me over the week. We're gonna try to make this a weekly thing on Saturdays. Sprite Cranberry. Oh. Length doesn't matter, yeah, for now. We'll see how it goes. Good job, Yasik. For now, we're just gonna watch the ones here, and then you could send more to the Discord chat, and I'll look at that if we need more stuff. Most likely, it'll go for next week, though. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Let's go! No Japanese girl held hands with me, though. Damn. This guy has a crazy life. 30-minute video ago. I don't want to Sprite Cranberry. I don't like Sprite. I like cranberries. I will. Your video list is a full clap. I don't know, because I don't know how. This is the first time I'm trying this, so I don't know how long it's gonna go. But you could still send videos, and we'll see like how the night goes, type of thing. But yeah, it might not be, especially if it's 30 minutes. I don't know if we'll watch it. Or 3. Like tonight. I don't know if we'll watch it tonight. Sapporo. He said it. His pronunciation is good. Tomato. This guy's Australian. It's tomato. What the hell? Oh my god. This guy keeps going into jail. Tomato. Tomato. I know, right? Nope. There is cashew, yes. The thing is, I don't want to watch all your videos, okay? Some of your guys' videos, I don't think are going to be very good or interesting or whatever, okay? I'm going to try to, okay? But like, or they might be TOS. Like Nathan sent a video of a whale dying, and I don't think I could watch that on stream. I watched it, but I don't know about media share right now. Yeah. For now, this is okay. But I've never had a Sprite Cranberry made by LeBron James. Made by anyone. Jesus. This man can't escape prison. Jesus. Doesn't look older. What the hell? Bro, the guards play Squid Game? What is this? Yeah, it was interesting, Nathan. I read the comments. I will eventually look at it. You know, don't worry. Like, they're talking like he's an anime character. Winter came and it weakened him further. His power levels were decreased drastically from the weather. Like, I don't know. He's not even in there. I guess, yeah. His powers only work in spring. Why does his head look like that? Yo. This man's a genius. Oh. Down. He went down. Jesus. They even had video footage. Oni-chan can only break out on streamer. Alright, see you, Angel. Thanks for pooping in. But that's kind of dumb. Like if I don't know, maybe it was different in the 50s or whatever. Like, but like it seems to me that if a prisoner, like if a guard was like, "Yo, wake up! It's time to wake up," the person's still sleeping. They wouldn't be like, "Oh," and just walk away. They would, or maybe they were so scared that he was gonna escape that they were scared to get into the cell. I don't know. Stop IQ minusing me. It's hurting my feelings. A callback. This sounds funny. He gets shot. Exhausted. Why is he still in Sapporo? Oh my god. Jesus. Oh. This is a beautiful story. Yeah, I thought they would be in a cell too. So you're gonna get through all the requests? Aw. I have dedicated fan. Aw, that's sweet. They just want to see their videos. But yes. Sorry, Aqua. He told him? Oh, it'd be fun if he went back to prison. Oh. It'd be fun if he sent... It was sent to jail. Like, he was? Oh my god. It's so sad. Whoa, they have video from the 50s here. Did you see my pumpkin? Oh no, I didn't see your pumpkin. Or just fan Nathan send 50. Maybe. I'm not gonna look at it right now, but no, pumpkin I'll look at. Hey, that's a nice pumpkin. I can't show you guys on screen, so look at the Discord. That's a cool pumpkin. Now I know how your house looks. But that's a cool pumpkin. Yo, it looks like Batman teeth. I like it. Too long? Hey, happy you got a cigarette? I'm not a pig. Yes. That still sucks. He wanted to be in jail? Just kidding. Look, what? Why does this feel like an anime? Oh my god. That pumpkin is hot. True. You're gonna send me something else, Yesek. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. What's exclamation point ping? Yeah, but he's still in jail. That's pretty crazy, actually. That's pretty crazy. He stopped caring about his wife. Every time they try to make him older, they just make it look like he's dying. Jesus Christ. They just add more lines under his eyes. Alright. Oh my god. They use the same scene for his wife, like, every single time. He finally gave up. That's what happens when you get older. He looks more tired, exactly. Ooh. Well, I mean... But it improved the prisons in Japan, right? Probably. Because of him, probably prisoners can't get out anymore because they just buffed it up like crazy. That's a nice video, though. Oh my god. I'm using your content for content and then you try to sell me Dashlane? Bro, and I'll give it a like. I thought it was a good video. I thought it was a good video. The next video is Casually Explained. I actually like Casually Explained. Yeah, don't try to advertise to us. Exactly. By the way, don't forget to sub or gift subs. You could use bits. You could, haha, just kidding. So he ruined it for all other prisoners. Yeah, pretty much. It would be interesting if like other prisoners hate him now and try to track him down and kill him or something. I don't know. We made seasoned pumpkin seeds with all the seeds. Yo, that's so cool. How long do pumpkin seeds take to grow? No, I can't watch your video next. I'm watching the ones that were sent. I love thank you. I love how you both did it pretty much at the same time. But again, you got Dino. That's funny. Bruh, indeed. Thank you. Yo, Australians are mad. Australians are mad scary. Australian animals are mad scary. This is the one country I don't want to go to. Well, that's not true. I don't want to go to North Korea. But there's like, it's one of the countries I don't want to go to because, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. You don't have to give me bits, but thank you. Big spiders there. Yeah. Yeah, they have crazy... Well, I guess we'll see in this video, but like tarantulas and roaches and stuff. I don't mind spiders generally, but the tarantulas and stuff... Let's go. None of them. Oh. He's funny. A kid? Nah. It's not a kid. Oh, thank you, Dino. I'm fading. I'm fading it in so you don't get scared. That's funny. Second. Wait, what? I thought that Tasmanian devil looked like this. I thought it always looked like this. That doesn't look the same. Yo, they tricked us. What is this? That's cute. Yeah, this is really cute. Starting my application now. That's all my bits I got. No more. No worries. IQ decrease. I'm just trying to ignore the IQ decreases now. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now. Okay. Okay, never mind. Australia has a reputation as some of the most dangerous creatures on Earth. Yeah. It's not even dangerous for me because I'm stupid. Like, it's more so the nasty factor. See, I'm looking around my room now. Anyway. But dangerous is more important, obviously. That's pretty hot. Wait, what? Can you get chlamydia from a koala? No! They lied. Yes. The beauty of the internet. This is actually what's scary about the internet. If I read this and I wanted the answer to be no, then I would stop reading. If I read this and I saw the answer is yes, then what the heck? I don't know. I'm not gonna read about this right now. You're confusing your definition of dangerous with not. No, like for example, like I'm scared of. I don't like cockroaches because they're nasty. They're disgusting. But like I'm not scared of mosquitoes. Like I don't care if but mosquitoes can actually like transmit diseases and stuff. But cockroaches don't do anything. You know. You need multiple sources. Yeah, I guess. IQ decrease. Eucalyptus. I'm a genius. IQ plus. Oh my god. Beaver go quack. Go. That's cool. Bloody hell, mate. Yo. Wait, is that its balls? Who watched Kangaroo Jack here? Yo, I know, right? Or you're saying you. Kangaroo Jack was actually a great movie. From what I remember. I don't know. What the hell? I feel like it's kind of weird that the colors for the tier list go from like red, which you think would be like dangerous, to like S, which you think would be like light blue, which you think would be like not dangerous. Like he inverted the colors. Kangaroos have weird double peepees. Wait, do they actually? I don't know if I could look at this on stream, but how many peepees do kangaroos have? Huh. Okay. I don't know if you guys could read that, but that's funny. I guess I'll have to look at pictures. Oh, I don't know if I want to. Oh, I thought that. Whatever. We'll look into it later. Australia's not known for cockroaches though. They're a spider, snake, and other aggressive reptiles. Yeah, I guess you're right then. Yeah, I guess I do mean scary. Yeah. Baby Joey. It's like a gummy bear? What? Isn't Baby Joey mean like a baby kangaroo? Yeah, because like right? Yo, that's a sweet... Oh, God. It's an interesting picture. Oh my God. Why is this feature a feature? Why could I zoom in? Okay, let's go back to the video. This is not the video. This is the video. Enter Jack was so bad, it's a good movie. Yes, exactly. What's the difference between a crocodile and an alligator? Haha, that was funny. Wait, Wax 21 more videos. I don't know 21 more. I mean, I'm looking at the ones that were sent until today, not the ones that were sent today. But I mean, we might watch some of the ones today. It depends how things go. I forgot that movie existed. Yeah, I actually really liked that movie when I was younger. But we'll see how many we get through. Jesus. See, that looks nasty. What? Oh. Jesus. That's pretty crazy. Scorpions look pretty cool though, yeah. The literal killer. Yeah, I don't know either. Trampolines. Honestly, every time I see a little kid jumping on a trampoline, I'm like, that doesn't look safe. How many people die from... Never mind. How many people die from trampolines? A lot of people search this. Since 1990, Pshibla has reported 11 deaths relating to trampoline use. Jesus. Falls from the trampoline were the most frequent cause. What else would... Oh, God. Landing on the neck while attempting somersaults. What even is the sipa? Between 2002 and 2011, more than 1 million people landed in emergency... Well, emergency room doesn't... Alright, well, whatever. Let's just ignore that. Yeah, I guess this is scary. This is scary. That does look like a crazy. That looks like a crazy snake. We might watch one of yours. I didn't know about the litter. Some scorpions glow under UV light. Oh, that's cool. They carry their babies on their backs. That's really cool. Little kids are durable, dude. All right, but but still, I mean that's true. Maybe I shouldn't say this on stream, but my cousin's son fell out of the carriage down a flight of stairs, and he's still around, so that's pretty crazy, actually. That was a good joke. I like that joke. Oh, that's cats. Cortez. Cats have 9 lives, but you know, it's fun. He's special but alive. I mean, he's still young, so maybe like who knows how it affected him, right? Stonefish. What the hell? For those of you that weren't there, I was playing Pokemon the other day. I think I was playing Pokemon. And Chi, who's from Australia, she was telling me about drop bears, and I'm like, that's not a real thing. And I looked it up, it's not really a real thing. Apparently, Australians like to BS about certain things and like troll tourists. So, who knows how many of this is actually real. You see? What the hell? Let's see. Is that a thing? Box jellyfish. I feel like that could be a thing. Yo, this actually looks really cool. Oh, God. Why would you eat that? A scientist's quest to understand the box jellyfish that almost killed her. Oh, you're not gonna... You're not eating that. This looks like a Pokemon. Box jellyfish Pokemon. Wait, what? This is a Pokemon? I'm so confused. Was Tentacruel made after box jellyfish? Oh, interesting. Interesting. The hell are you looking at Australian things? What's up, Johnny? Well, I'm doing a new thing that I'm trying to like once a week. We just look at videos that you guys sent. So yeah. Here's the thing. Also called, how you doing though, Johnny? Also called sea wasps. It's just me or a box jellyfish hot. Yo, they look actually very attractive looking, yeah. Like, they look cool. Giant hornets. Hornet? Where's the pronunciation? Hornet. Yeah, I said it right. Hornet. Giant hornets are a Pokemon. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Why are you IQ minusing? More time with Fang. Yay. Yeah, more weekend time. I'm gonna try to do it every Saturday, even though today's Sunday. I just wanted to test it out. Hornets. Hornet. Whatever. What the hell? Irukanji. Is this Japanese? And then it's a company. Irukanji. Irukanji. That sounds so Japanese. What? There's no way that this is like from. Where did they come up with the name? Was named by Hugo Flecker. Sounds like a curse. Since we're named after the Irukanji people, that sounds messed up. What the hell? Oh, indigenous Australian people. I knew that. I was just testing you guys. That's common knowledge. I'm not horny. I don't want to be horny. I just want to be happy. Oh, that sounds sad. I'm happy. Oh, I was smiling. Australia's very hot, right, Johnny? I'm not. I did it on purpose. What? No advertisement. No advertisement. Advertisement. Oh my god. I knew it. Not watching your advertisement. Oh my god. Anyway. This was more, this one no one requested, so I'll just skip this. I just thought maybe to watch it, but I didn't know we would get so many requests, so we'll skip it. I've heard that spammed when I was doing Pokemon, but I've never seen the video. Okay, I'll be honest, guys. I'll be honest. I put some Pokemon videos because I personally want to watch them. No one requested them. Alright? We don't care about your ads. Why are you IQ minusing me? What? I'm not doing it. But yeah, we'll. I think this is actually cool. I wanted to watch these. Hopefully you guys think it's cool. And if not, I apologize. This is so Pokemon on YouTube. They made oopsies. They made a like short series. That's like kind of more realistic. And it looks really cool. I think I watched the first 2 episodes in Japan or something, or maybe not in Japan, but when it came out. Boring, sleeping. Look how beautiful the animation is, though. This is cool. No? Oh, I haven't seen this one, I think, actually. Ugh. This is so cool. How long is this? They're like 10 minutes of video. You guys are haters. Oh, snap. Yeah, I definitely didn't see this. This is cool to me. Gotta have some Pokemon. Since I'm a Pokemon streamer now. Look how anime this is. Jesus. What is that? I wish they had Pokemon anime like this. This looks like an anime. You just don't like Pokemon? Oh. But this looks so cool! I like... Sorry. Oh, he fire blasted him. snap. Okay, that was a bit weird. That's why you gotta watch it in Japanese, so you don't hear the But you're trying to catch him with a Pokeball? Oh no, he threw an Ultra Ball. No, he threw a Pokeball. What is this? It's like every video we're watching today is like has so many mistakes. I don't get it. Oh, what the hell? Bro, that is his fault. That is your fault. Why are you using a Pokeball to catch a legendary Pokemon? Jesus. Is he gonna kill him? What? Are they gonna kiss? Oh, that's a Ethernautus or something. It's a legendary Pokemon. One of the big legendaries from the latest game. This is from the latest game. I think it's cool. What's going on in here? I'm not gonna lie, it kind of looks stupid, but oh, this is so cool actually. Oh my god, I'm getting chills. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't understand, in the game, you're the main character, and you're doing this with your rival. So it's like emulating the game, but in anime style. That's so cool. Like these are other legendaries now. What jobs are you looking at? So it's like a dog guy. It's kind of dumb. It's a dog with a sword in his mouth and a dog with the shields. Damn. And then that's the champion. And he lost. And he's like an older guy, you know? It's kind of embarrassing. And now he has to challenge the main character. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is cool. This is cool. Oh yeah, and this guy hasn't lost a battle like 50 battles in a row or something. But he couldn't defeat this thing. But the main character did, so. I don't remember the story that well. I played it when it came out, which is like 2 years ago. I just find it so dumb that Pokeballs are used a lot of the times. Like they're so weak, you know? Really fell off after Diamond and Pearl? Nah, I think what it is that once you get older, Sleepy face! Sleepy face! Bro, this is quality content, okay? I think it's more so nostalgia, right? Like you feel more nostalgic for older games, for older movies, for older shows, because you grew up with that type of. That's my assumption. I don't think the later games are bad. The remake of Diamond and Pearl is about to come out though, so. I was looking at a local grocery store, but they don't have many positions, and I can't find out how much they pay. Candy production plant. Why don't you? Damn, no one likes this, huh? Fine, I'll watch the rest of them alone. You guys are such losers. Okay, that's kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie. It's computer. But listen, it's in English. Everything in English is cringe, anime-wise. Okay. All right, fine. We'll watch some of your guys' videos. God. Have you looked into like doing Uber Eats or something? Like a delivery job that's flexible or something like that? I was gonna watch all 4 episodes, but and like this and you guys are not Pokemon fans, and it just hurts me inside. But it's okay. It's okay. I'll just look at what you guys sent me. Jesus. Okay. What's this? What? You want me to watch 4 whole videos? Are you crazy? Why does that look like Vaughn? Which is another streamer. What is this? What do you send it? What is this? I'm so confused. Which one you meant to send? Job description doesn't make it sound very fun. The hell is this? The one I'm watching? Okay, good. Yeah, you should look into Uber Eats or something like that. What is this? But this is just a conversation between people. What is the purpose of this video? What? What the hell? What is this? This is so weird. What? What is this? Is the weirdest thing I've watched ever. What? Oh God! What is this? What is this video? I guess this is for Halloween. Oh God! I hope nothing crazy happens here. This looks like a TOS video. Oh my God. Wait, am I gonna see anything TOS in this video? Like that I'm not allowed to watch on Twitch? Listen, I spoil myself when it's Just tell me if I'm gonna see anything TOS, because that's important. Everything's okay for Twitch? Okay. Thank you. Wait, I shouldn't have the time thing there. Drake hairs? What is that? You telling me this video is better than the Pokemon one? Come on. What are these security cameras? I mean, I can tell it was like from a long time ago, but... I watched... Oh, Dracarys. Yeah, I've watched Game of Thrones. I don't remember their names. They had like some random names, you know. They had detection... ow. They had detection cameras in the 19 whatevers. I forgot who Dracarys was. Was that the girl with white hair? Yeah. I would play around with the characters on the bottom of the screen. That's what Danny says to her dragons so they can attack. Daenerys. Dracarys. Oh, yeah. Like shoot fire or something, right? Yeah. I remember. The door was open. What? Backyard has been disabled. Would you not see the footage leading up to it being disabled, though? That's what makes this a bit sus. This looks like someone just recorded this on the... Like, someone made this. This is the type of stuff you watch, you know? Was that supposed to be scary? Was it supposed to be an alien? Bro, this is so fake. This is so fake. Oh. This is so fake. No. No. This is so fake. If you want to see something real, check out my YouTube channel. Lol. Anyway, let's see what the next video is. Ooh, top of the morning. Oh, Jacksepticeye. These people are gonna hate me. Yeah, I know. Glasses. Habits. You know, no offense. Your sense of humor is like a 5-year-old's. But we'll watch it. This is so dumb. The what? What does that even mean? No. I feel like I lose brain cells. I felt like I just lost brain cells watching that. All right, the next video. What's with SpongeBob? Hey, you came back perfect timing. It's your video. Yeah, Game of Thrones end sucked. It's hilarious. I don't get it. Yeah, it's you using your incorrectly. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, Cashew. What the hell? It's kind of funny. There was no one. A Ruth Chris? What does that mean? Why is it so loud? Jesus. I wonder, people who work like behind the counter at restaurants and stuff. Does it? Would you get annoyed at this? Like when someone's like, "Yo, where's the dollar menu?" And you're like, "Bro, there's no dollar menu." And they're like, "Bro, where's the dollar menu?" And you're like, "There's just it doesn't exist." Like that sounds like it would get annoying. I'm not the cashier. I've never cursed in my lifetime. This is exactly how it goes. Oh, okay. Shit. The R word is banned on Twitch. But I didn't say it, so it's okay. I wouldn't want to work in customer service jobs. Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't mind personally that much, but I could see how it could get annoying, yeah. I worked at TJ Maxx for a bit, but it was okay. He doesn't have glasses on. Now I'm hungry. Wait, but well, let's give Cashew some space here.
I didn't work at a restaurant, but people would argue with me about prices at the convenience store because some idiot never labeled items correctly.
Oh, you didn't watch this video? Oh. That is a crazy hat. I don't like. Do you guys like those? Sorry for pausing all the time, but do you guys like those types of jokes where it's like, "You're so this that you can't even blah blah." It sounds like, you know, I don't know. Any job seems like a headache, except streaming. Just kidding. I hate streaming. Just kidding. Nice. Yo. I never thought of that. They literally live in water. That's crazy. Chat's job is to give you a headache. Bro, no, I watched it, but I didn't watch it. Only if it's clever. Yes. Yes, same. It depends on delivery. True. I personally like jokes that are random. Like you don't expect them. And that kind of are subtle. Like Norm Macdonald, I like his humor. I like Bill Burr, even though he is random kind of. Long Beach Griffey, I like him, yeah. Chat's job is to give you a headache. Yeah, but you guys are fine. You guys don't give me headaches usually. Jeez. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I love Norm Macdonald. Yeah, yeah. I bet he won't pin this. Really? That's all it takes? I should just go to every video and just press that thing. This is your favorite. Yo, I shouldn't have clicked on this because there's an order of list of videos. I've seen like I've seen a lot of his videos. I have a friend who was like, he wouldn't. And I was like, why? You know what video You know what video I like? You know what video I like? I've seen this video, so I don't care. I don't care. What I like? Okay. Okay, I missed a lot of his video. I see videos on the other ones. I like this video. This video is funny. I like this video. This video is funny. This video is funny. This is one of my favorite of his. I don't know why it's funny to me. It's so good. That's just it's like like it sounds like an actual rap, but it's so messed up. It's funny to me. Today at the bank, an old lady asked me to help check her balance, so I pushed her over. Good one. That's a good one, actually. I would say I want to use it, but I'll probably forget. Can I use MediaShare to advertise my YouTube channel? I mean, you can send a video on Discord to advertise it. Sure, I don't care. It's your stream. You can watch it in whatever order you want, I guess. But I try to be fair. Like, I want to watch the Pokemon videos, but you guys don't want to. Jesus, Dino, how many videos did you like send? Dr. Phil breaks up with you in the woods and it escalates. Oh, that sounds kind of interesting. Ooh, Shark Tank. We've had a couple of DNL videos, so we're gonna go to someone else for now. I thought Aqua, I thought you might have sent a video. We'll look at cashews because I like Shark Tank. Jelly bean time. Okay, give me a second. God. You can see. What do you mean you can't see? Oh no, I moved it over. Thank you though. Thanks, Johnny. I was trying to watch the video. Monkey do good. That's funny. I wonder if it's from two different clips or this is actually like the thing. I wonder if this is like a different clip. Oh, I almost choked on the bean. Oh, that's great. I like this video. I love this video. Oh, this is great. That's a great video. That was an amazing video. You got bank nice. This video is a banger. It's not real. I actually remember the clips when he said this guy's a con artist. It was for a different guy. Oh, that is hilarious though. That is hilarious. It's not real. They're not swearing. And they edited the video to make it look like they're swearing at him, but it was like from different episodes. The editing was just so well. I haven't seen the episode with the kid, but I've seen the episode when when he was saying he's a con artist. I saw that episode and it was some grown guy. I'd like oh, this is great. Send more videos like this. That's funny. I wonder if this one is similar. Jesus, that was loud. Okay, see, this editing was not done well. But the other one was really well. Oh my god. The Dr. Phil one is like that video? Okay. I'll scroll all the way back up. Let us see what this... Oh, I really wanted to watch Pokemon stuff, but this is good too. I'm showing you. Oh, show you the real video? I don't know the real video. He's pretty hot. This is so dumb. Oh. Oh god. uh What? This is so weird. This is not. This is how I don't talk to women like that. Nothing's funny. I'm sorry. Wait, what? He's never said that. Oh. Oh, this is great. What the hell? Ah, indeed. There's quite a few ahs. What? Wrapped. Raptor. Jesus, so many TikToks. It's so well edited. Yes, it is pretty well edited. Well, what was the dog? What was the dog doing? If you couldn't see what the dog doing, then it's okay. You're too young. You're too young. What is this? Poggers. Ooh, Google. What? I like this video. This is a good video. Oh, that. Wait, is that true? Google Trends. There's no way. I mean, it's obviously not true, but like, I want to see if it's like if you could even see that. No, don't tell me I have to scroll all the way back. Wait. 1800. Bro, it doesn't let me do that. Bro, that was not true. It was a lie. That was a lie. This is why you don't trust TikTok. Okay, guys? What is this? Google Trends in the 1800s. Yes. Bro, this is a lot. Oh, I'm watching the same video. Let's see what's next. Ooh. I saw this on stream. I think you sent me this on stream. I saw this. I like it. It's good. Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. I love music stuff like that. It just sounds so good. The only annoying thing about TikTok is I have to click on it, wait for it, because I have to unmute it, you know? It doesn't go right away. Semen between the tens? Stop. Advertisements. Semen. Oh, that's true. TikTok was true. I thought they were lying. Cringe. Oh my god, you sent so many TikToks. How does that have almost 1 million likes? Alright, I'll stretch. I'm sorry. I'll stretch. Your guy disappears if you don't talk in chat for like 3 minutes or something. I'm stretching extremely. Oh my god, my legs. Oh, that feels good, thank you. You hate this game? The jumping game. I think I could make more stuff with the jumping game, actually. Seriously, how many TikToks did you... Oh my god, you sent so many TikToks. I gotta pee. Hello, Zapnap. Welcome. What? That's so dumb. Let's go. Oh wait, you guys can't. I don't know what happened to the camera. I'll have to fix it. Let's go. Let's go. Marth. Change your character. I wonder if you could shoot with that. This is stupid. They're good friends. You could tell they're good friends. Alright, you sent a lot of TikToks. I'm gonna skip it over for now. Do other characters have bigger hitboxes? I have no idea. This is gonna be the last video we watch. Was this guy again? Sheesh. It can't explode, so it can't be shot out of the gun. It's so funny. You know, he doesn't have ears either. It can't explode, so it can't be shot out of the gun. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I was like, I read the comment, but I didn't internalize it. Where's all the laughter? Why can't we hear it? Why can't we hear the laughter? No, I will not subscribe for more. Comedies, but... Yeah, there's different types of comedy people like. So there's this thing in the military where the Marines eat crayons. I, for some reason, highly doubt that. I don't have ears, but that's different. I don't live underwater. I saw this in my recommended, like, months ago. And I don't think I ever clicked on it. I have funny bones. I like Norm Macdonald humor. I like one of the other videos we were watching. The first video Cashew sent, I think. I heard the crayon eating thing. Why do they eat crayons? Oh, it's a joke. The video fish guy? Ah, yeah. Why do you send serious videos? Jesus. I want... what type of ears are they? The good kind. It's an inside joke? Oh, okay. Well, but what's the inside part? Dislike. This video isn't funny. I asked Dinell to send me a funny video. I'm joking. Or keep me from doing my essay. I'm sorry. I am a terrible father. What makes this kid so special that I have to hear his story as opposed to the millions of other kids that are getting bullied? Because he's in VR chat? I'm just joking. It sounds pretty wholesome. The crayon started as an inside joke between services. Colonel told Military Times. It's actually a jab at Marines from other services. But as Marines, we can laugh along with them. And own it as our own. Crayon heater meme. Oh, that's cool. Decelerate your life? What the heck? Damn. That's sad. He does talk a lot. He probably only got heard because his avatar. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know? I thought he was gonna send an invite to the guy and then just defriend him and leave or something. Which would be messed up, but you know. Jesus. Get a better mic. No, I'm just joking. What the hell? I feel like I want to get VR chat. It looks like it would be fun. What do you guys think? You have VR chat? Hey, how is it? I just need VR. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna get a VR headset. $494. That is pretty short, right? I know Nathan is pretty tall. Average height for 15-year-old boy. Oh my god, that sounds so creepy to search up. Oh, come on. I don't know what this means. 170 centimeters to feet. Oh yeah, okay. That's pretty short then. You learn how to curse in Arabic in VR chat? Please teach us. You can be like, oh, the Akbar. We should get VR chat and bull around. True. I would have gotten an Oculus Quest, but they started requiring a Facebook account. Oh, Oculus is owned by Facebook, yeah? Estoy bien. ¿Cómo estás, Ethan? I mean, like, I don't know. Kids will always, I think it's also like proven to be a thing, the way the brain develops. But until a certain, oh my god, my hat is see-through. Until a certain age, you're very self-conscious about things. And then you kind of aren't. Self-centered, self-conscious, a lot of stuff. This kid is lucky. You can play VR chat without VR? Yeah, but I feel like with the VR it would be more fun, no? Most people ask me for kids. What the hell? Why do you wish? It's not bad to look like a kid when you're not a kid, depending on what you want to do. If you know what I mean, you know? I wish my mustache grew out so I didn't look like Hitler or something. Well, not Hitler, because Hitler was only here. Like a Mexican guy. Nothing wrong with that. I wanna have that like side like, you know, that looks cool, but I don't have that. I want to get into bars. Yeah, exactly. There you go. You save money. got a pee-pee. What the hell? Did they change the setting to high school just for the story? Thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Gato gozaimasu. Look at that beautiful hair. My red and blue hair. Ah. Yeah, that sucks. Iran? I'm sorry. What? Kids have been bullying me. Well, if you just changed your haircut, it would stop. Oh, thanks, uncle. That's interesting. Is this therapy? I know, right? I don't know. This is such a weird video. I demoed it at Best Buy. How'd you like it? I can see why he gets bullied. He's really bad at drawing. Oh, yeah. It sounds like Tokyo Revengers. What the hell? Imagine this kid just sounds so depressing. Like if I were talking to him and I would be like, "Yo, I want a motorcycle when I grow up," and he'd be like, "Well, my mom's ex died riding a motorcycle." I would be like, "Oh, okay. So the weather is nice out, like it's pretty sunny." And then he would be like, my dad died riding the motorcycle, and it was a sunny day. Then you would be like, I gotta go. And that's probably why he's not very popular. I'm just joking. I don't know. It was fun. Oh, that's cool. Cat is back. Nice. I just sneezed and banged my head against my bed frame. We'll do therapy sessions for content. Is it even content? I don't know. I'm not bullying him. He doesn't know me. It's okay. I would be a decent therapist. Probably not. His videos are funny. Check him out. That's funny. That is a win. I liked a girl for like years, and I found out she didn't like me, and that's it. His voice doesn't sound that high pitched. I don't know. I feel like I had a higher pitched voice, but a lot of people have that like self-conscious thing about their voice, though, especially when they're younger. Frog, yeah, this is funny. I just can't motivate myself to do anything. Wow, you're depressing. No, it's just like, yeah, kind of. But no, obviously that's not the right... Listen, if I was being serious and I was talking to someone, okay, and they were trying to get advice from me, and they were like, I can't motivate myself to do anything, I wouldn't be like, bro, that sounds depressing. Just do something. Like, obviously that's not the right thing to say. That guy's funny. Was that the joke? That was funny because they said tell me a joke, and he ran away. That was funny. I can be a frog. Tell us, Joe. Okay. I was about to walk up and I was about to get up and walk away, but that's it because I also have to pee. Oh, thank you. That was a good joke. No, I'm good. I'm good with being witty, and then that's how my jokes, bruh. That's how my jokes happen. So if there was another human being next to me, I would be like, "Yo," and then I would make a joke, and then you guys would be like, you guys would type in LUL in chat, all in caps, and then the thing. It's, I don't know. My face. It's funny. All right, I guess my joke was bad. Bye, guys. This is pretty interesting though, because a lot of people do, like, after the internet came out, it's much easier to get hate, right? Because you're voiceless. But in VR, you have a voice, so when you hear someone's voice, it's a bit harder to be mean to them. It seems it's very interesting. Why am I still watching instead? I'm fine. Just go finish your essay. Just keep me in the background. I'll kill myself tomorrow. Pink. Wow, you're depressing. True. It's not okay. Bro, first of all, if I would respond like that, they would never tell me that they would kill themselves tomorrow. When someone expresses suicidal thoughts, I've read about this. I don't know how true this is. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. Don't come to me for advice. But I've heard if they're honest with their feelings about that type of stuff, they're comfortable to share that. Nah. I would be like, yo, talk to a therapist. I'll try to lead them that direction, probably. I don't want to be depressed. I was, what's that word? When you don't care about life? I was that a few years ago. Nihilistic. I didn't care about anything. I felt like my life was pointless. But I wasn't suicidal. Oh, but yeah. I think it's because I'm Jewish, and there's a Jewish guilt felt with it. So if, like, I committed suicide, I would make my parents feel like shit. So it's like there's Jewish guilt, so I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Depressed works, too. What gun doesn't exist in Africa? I don't know. The water gun? I don't get it. Because it's a fake gun? I don't get it. That was funny. That was good. It took 10 minutes to get to the funny part, but you know, it's fine. Yo, you could add bold now? What the hell? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, this is with TubeBuddy. Oh, that's the application I use or whatever. I was okay. Where was that video Zap sent earlier? Oh, here it is. This will be the last video, okay? Maybe, who knows? Don't explain it. Let him wonder. You build up the punchline. YouTube comments are cool. Wait, what? Yeah, they are cool. I'm not horny. I'm really need to pee-pee, though. Oh, snap, bro. That's too real, bro. Nah, chill. You gotta go have eggs? Alright, see you. See you, Dino. Mwah. Thanks for popping in. Oh, I thought she was just large. That's one of the big reasons I want to start doing it on Saturday, this type of stream, so that everyone has Sunday kind of to chill, instead of Mondays. But yeah. So starting next week is most likely gonna be Saturday. Then if you're not in the Discord, you could join and send videos for next time. To the intestine? Yo. That's not true, right? Oh, that's true. Damn, I really don't know anything. Sis. Oh my god, what a weird adult. Penis. Yo, imagine babies came out of the pee-pee. I am learning. Imagine babies came out of the penises. That would be pretty insane. Like you just go to take a piss and boop, it just comes out. I don't think it would come out like that. That would probably hurt, so it would probably go out in a different way. Gute Nacht. Good night, Ethan. Sorry that we're talking about this. Flop. Yeah, I guess it would flop into the toilet, but... Wait, they do? I thought they came out of the stomach. I'll be honest, when I was younger, I thought they came out of the stomach. But I was kind of right, because if you get a C-section or whatever, I think, they cut your stomach open, and they take the baby out, right? So, I'm a genius. Honestly, she could be pregnant. I don't know. Well, I mean, she wouldn't be pregnant now. Jesus. Holding a baby for like 2 years? That'd be kind of crazy. Oh, God. That's a cute kid. Bro, that is messed up. How are you saying yes? You don't know if it was painful. You didn't give birth. You're just a guy. Stupid video. Dislike. Damn it, Cashew. Don't tell people. Don't tell people that you're pregnant with our child. Damn it. I was hoping it wouldn't come to light. It's gonna come out of your pee-pee. I really thought it would come out of your stomach. Yes, you are still in the basement, apparently. What the hell? You had a very large head. I also have a large head. Yo, I would actually be a model. Alright, I would have thousands of viewers because this is how Twitch and everything works in life. Not really, but a little bit. If I had a circular head. That kid has a nice head. My head is an egg. This is not the head you want, alright? To be online. But, you know, it is what it is. They have to find out. Fine. Data is harsh, yeah. Wait, am I data or? What the hell? Yo, bro, they need to cancel this parent, bro. What the hell's wrong with this guy? He wants to reenact a birth with his own daughter. I was a freak when I came out. Ooh, those are cool emotes. I actually almost died when I came out. You see this? I don't know if you could see it. I have a scar on my hand because I was blue. I wasn't breathing. The doctors were supposed to shoot me with like some shot. Excuse me. In my arm, and they missed, and they got my hand, and it made a hole in my hand, and I almost died. But then they unfortunately rescued me or whatever. So, pedo alerts, right? Pedo alerts. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird thing to say. Oh, bro. I thought she was going to show the daughter sex. Going like this and like this. Like, come on. What is this? She's not going to remember any of this. Bro, oh my god. I don't want to watch this. What is this? That's kind of cute. Unfortunately, true. Wow, teaching babies that you have to catch the baby out of when it comes out of the cervix. Very interesting. I'm glad you were born. Well, that makes one of us. I'm screwed up. There we go. Thank you, Cashew. Thanks. Your vagina. Yeah, we're flexible people. What the hell? Yo, this is like the type of guy. Sorry, I keep pausing, but he's like the type of kid. If you go to like school or not school, I don't know. You go to a hospital and you're like, "Do you want to see your brother under surgery? We're gonna rip open his heart," and you're like, "Yeah, yeah." Like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? It would be funny if they just show the baby coming out, like level 10. Yeah, for educational purposes only, yeah. That's such a cute kid. Yo, that guy is so happy about childbirth. Jesus. That child's gonna be a psychopath, bro, or a sociopath or whatever. He sees the, he's like, a baby, ho ho, and he's like, I want to see it. Like, it's so weird. Yeah, stupid father. Oh. If mommy has baby brother, you know, it's whatever. He's a cute kid. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. He's gonna say yeah. He wants to. He wants to. That's cute. That's true though. Yo, teaching kids, bro. I like that. That was nice. That was wholesome. That red-haired girl's gonna... You don't know that. It's gonna grow up to be one smart human. You don't know that. Alright, that's an assumption. Oh, they think the daddy was adorable? Bro, he was a weirdo. Am I the only one that thinks that? The girl is so smart. Ah, she was smart, yeah. Damn, they're only talking about the girls. That's pretty sexist, but you know, it's fine. Alright, we're gonna... Anyone could be happy. Like, I could go in and be happy. I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Alright, guys. I love you too, Cashew. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Pokemon. We're gonna do a new Pokemon Nuzlocke, 9:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Be there or be square. Maybe some community games too. I don't know yet, but yeah. Thanks for watching, and Ping Pong Moosters signing off. Oh, damn it. I was gonna do it here. Signing off.